Hello, ladies. Hello, gentlemen. We are here on day 36, the very last day of these daily live streams. Feel free to start leaving your questions, your comments, etc. in the chat. I am a little bit sick, so we'll do our best, but I might end this one early. We'll see how we feel. Chad, already there. Hello, Chad. How you doing? Hayden here as well. The final one, lads. Absolutely. ECC says, last stream, fellas. Let's get our dicks out for Andy one last time. You can if you want to. However, you're definitely not doing it for me. You're definitely, I'm not condoning getting your dick out. W. Desaro says, hello, lads. Good to see some Germans here too. Guten, I don't know what that means. Abend, I don't know what that means. Guten means like hello or good. So good afternoon, I guess. ECC says, Andy, I've just finished watching Spartacus. It's taught me that dying in the attempt of something is better than never trying at all. Yeah, like that saying, man. I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Kind of like that. Made me question my fear of failure. Yeah. I've always found that regret, as in not taking action, not doing something, hurts me way more than like failure or like rejection. Because even if someone says no to you, or even if you don't make it, you still get to try again. Like there is no failure. The only failure is if you stop. So yeah, good shit, man. K215 says, what's up, Paul? How you doing, man? The final chapter, indeed. Cole says, yo. Xander says, hi. Hayden says, Andy, don't leave us. I'm not. I'm still here. We're just not going to do live streams, but I'll still be doing tons of content and stuff. K215 says, Xander, how you feeling today? Yeah, Xander, how you feeling today? Mortis says, hey. Hello. W. Desire says, it means good evening. I thought so, yeah, because it's evening over there in Germany. Guten Tag. Mortis says, I met with my friends. They apparently didn't know I was under meds and had therapy. Like, what the fuck? I've literally told you. Yeah, but so you could play around with that and say, my friends should remember literally everything I tell them. Is that true? Chad says, Mortis, what were the positive sides of meeting up with your friends? You got to be angry that they forgot something about you. That's a positive. They said, you don't seem empty, like Mortis, you don't seem empty, and you just don't understand women. They asked if I was... Okay, that took me a little while to realize what you were trying to say. They asked me if I was suicidal and shit. I was like, no shit, guys, what the fuck? Yeah, but remember that people live their own lives, man. And like, you can kind of play around with this. And I'll say this in like a clumsy way, man. Like, you're not the center of other people's universes. Like, but your ego likes to think that you are. Your ego has basically been offended. And like, that's okay. Like, all of our egos get offended, man, from time to time. But your ego's basically been offended that the rest of like your friends aren't just like sitting around constantly remembering everything you say and thinking about you. It's like, no, man, they're busy. Like, they probably have their own pain. Like some of them might even be depressed or going through some stuff, but we focus a lot on ourselves and then we get angry if other people aren't focusing on us. But most people are too busy living their own life. Like, and there's freedom in that. That can be incredibly freeing because then that means if you make a like mistake or if you do something a bit silly, they're probably not going to fucking remember it because they're too busy focused on their own life. So there's freedom in like realizing that we're not the center of everybody else's universe. K215 says, Andy, do you have a Snoopy hat? I don't think so. What's a Snoopy hat? I guess we're just Snoopy on it. No, I don't. Do you want me to order one? I do like Snoopy. He's very cute. Xander says, honestly, I'm genuinely sad these streams are ending. Yeah, man, it's been a wild ride. Hey, I mean, we'll come back and do this next year anyway. Xander says, I'm genuinely going to miss not just Andy, but all of you. Yeah, same. Yeah, so these streams are a lot of work. Like, maybe that goes without saying. But like when we were coming up to December, I already knew I was going to do these because it's like, yeah, I fucking miss all the guys, like Mortis and a bunch of other guys that were here last year and then the year before. And so, yeah, we'll definitely do them again. I am open to the idea of doing more live streaming like throughout the year. Like, I don't think I'm going to do it consistently. I'm definitely not going to put it in the calendar. Like, freedom to me is something that's like the most important like principle, I guess, or idea. And so I don't want like a scheduled, hey, every Monday we're going to do a live stream. Fuck that. But like, I'm very open to the idea. Like, you guys could leave comments on YouTube videos and stuff and be like, "Hey, man, like, have you thought about doing a live stream?" And yeah, I probably will. Like, you guys could probably talk me into it. W Desaro says, "We made a video together like 5 years ago. I was the guy who tripped on shrooms and woke up in hospital. I went to hospital when the first time I had weed. What an adventure." Hayden says, "I'm about to leave to Ballarat. I used to go." So Ballarat is like a town in Victoria in Australia. For the rest of you, I used to go to Ballarat quite a lot, man. I would jump on the train and just like go there. I'd also go to Bendigo and what's the one that has like Lake Wendouree in it? Where is that? Wherever the hell that is. Let me look that up. But I'd go there. I think that's Ballarat, Bendigo, whatever. I'd go there all the time. So that's cool, man. You say pussy will be hard, but I want to focus on business, drawing a line with family and fitness, resuming study just so I can have some external structure to what I'm making. That's cool, man. Good job. Mortis says, I was super happy that my friend is becoming a dad. That's cool. I'm glad your friend is pregnant. Or is that not how that works? K215 says, Andy, how long do you think you'll be coaching for? I have no idea. Quite a few years ago, I stopped trying to plan the future. Like, I just show up every day and do, I don't know, whatever my heart tells me, whatever people want me to do. So I can't predict. Like, I can't even give you a ballpark figure. I like coaching. I would like to move towards making all of this easier on me, like finding ways to make more passive income and building up like the Abundance Collective, which is our $200 a month coaching program, because that takes like way less effort from me. Obviously, we make less money in there, but like if I build that up to like, let's say 50 people in there, which at the moment I think there's about 20, like 15 to 20. If I build that up to 50 people, then it's like, I don't have to do shit, man. I don't have to coach at all. And then it feels like it comes from a different energy. I'm coaching then because I want to, rather than like to pay the bills, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I enjoy coaching. I think I'll probably be doing content like YouTube videos for many years. Like, I really like the format of just sitting down and recording. And so that's more what I want to do. These live streams are really fun, but they're definitely like way more effort for me. Like, whereas taking my camera, going and sitting in a park, just putting it on a tripod, hitting record, and just talking to you guys, like that is like so effortlessly easy. That is like 1,000 times easier for me than these live streams are. And so I think I'll be doing content for a long time. Coaching is definitely a lot of effort too, like, but I like it. So yeah, I don't know, man. Good question. But I don't know. I have no idea what the future will hold. Maybe one day I'll be a little hippie and I'll go live in some monastery or some shit, and no one will be able to contact me for a year. I'll take Molly and fucking see if anyone else wants to come. Maybe my friend Timo will come, and I'll go live in a monastery for a year. I can definitely see myself doing that at some point. But I think I'll always help people in some capacity because it feels good. It like I want to. Hayden, you say Lake Wendouree is Ballarat. Yeah. So do you know the backstory behind Lake Wendouree? Do you know what it means? There's a sign, like, when you go there, there's an actual sign that explains what Wendouree means. Let me Google it to make sure I'm not, like, that I have the right place. Whatever. Maybe this is the right place, maybe this isn't, but, like, no, it is the right place, it is the right place. There's a sign where the lake is, and if you go there, you can read this sign, and basically, back in the day when, like, the white guys came and, like, colonized Australia, they were in this place and they kept saying to the indigenous, like the Aboriginal people, like, what is the name of this place? And the people kept saying, Wendouree, Wendouree, Wendouree. And so they're like, oh, it must be called Wendouree. And then they found out like months later, Wendouree means fuck off. And so they were saying to all these indigenous people, yeah, Hayden, you know what's up, brother. Yeah. Yeah, you wrote it there. Wendouree means fuck off. Yeah, exactly. There's literally a sign in this, like an official government sign that explains this, like in this town. And they're like, but they don't write fuck off, but they kind of like hint at that. But yeah, it literally means fuck off. I find that hilarious. Hey, like, what's this? Like, they're trying to get all cozy with the, Aboriginal folks, and they're like, hey, what's this place called? Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. Like, oh, cool. Couldn't they have told? Like, wouldn't you be able to tell that like the person's like saying it to you, like, "Fuck off," like yeah. Maybe they're like, "Wow, why are these Aboriginal people so angry when they're telling us the name of this, like, area? Like, oh, what's crawled up their ass? Fuck off." Xander says, Andy, I want to say thank you for everything, for your time, for your advice, for trying to help me, for caring about and believing in me. Thank you, brother. Like, you've done a really good job of being open and honest, man. Like, you've done a really good job of opening up with us. K215 says once a month or 2 months, as in like for live streams and shit, would be fun too. Yeah. So what I'm thinking, man, is like I'll be honest with you guys. There have been lots of times where I kind of miss you guys, and I'm like, fuck, I would love to just throw a live stream on right now. But I think I'm like, if I'm honest, I'm nervous that like nobody would show up. Like if I literally don't schedule it, I'm just like, bam, hit record. Hey guys, I don't know if anyone's going to show up, but I thought I'd say hi. Like, so I think I want to like get over that fear by obviously just doing it and do that a couple of times. And even if nobody comes, then I'll know like, okay, well then I have to at least schedule it a couple of days ahead so people know that it's coming. But yeah, I'm down to try that. Um, Probably not in January. Like I want a break, but maybe next month I could just like try hitting record and see if anybody shows up. But yeah, I'm like that would be how I'd want to do the live streams where it's like no commitment, no like scheduling, no like promises and shit like that. Just because I'm usually pretty busy with like coaching and shit, like, and obviously just doing content in general. Xander, you're going to say, I want to thank all the rest of you too. Yeah, man. Like, and again, I don't want to speak for other people, but other people would probably tell you that you did a fucking good job, man. And like you helped a lot of people too. Like, don't discredit yourself for that, dude. Like you helped a lot of people, Xander. You were giving a lot of advice to people, like basically every day. Chad, you were too. There's a few of you that have just like given nonstop like advice every single day. So I appreciate you guys like a lot. What is this? Xander, we got I don't know what that means. W Desirous says, anyway, I want to say that I'm really grateful for your content, bro. Thanks, man. I'm grateful for you. I'm still here since COVID because of you. I found a nice girlfriend, been together 5 years. Bro, that's insane. That's amazing. Good job. You guys are like coming up to like 2 more years and then you would have been together for as long as Imi and I were. That's incredible, dude. Really good job. If you're happy to, bro, I would love to hear from you. Like, if you want to, just type it in the chat. Like, maybe two things that you've learned from being in a relationship for 5 years, because you guys have obviously been doing some things right. You know, you don't stay with someone for 5 years without doing some things right. So I'd love to hear, like, the rest of us would probably love to hear, like, what have you learned? I guess what has she learned? Xander says, I wish you and Molly the best, Andy. I wish all of the rest of you the best too. I hope you all accomplish your goals in life with women, whatever else. You too, man. Hell yeah. And thank you, man. That's really kind of you. If anyone here wants to start approaching women but isn't yet, just let me give you a final push of encouragement. Yeah, and you guys can even like make friends with each other. I've said that many times. Like Xander has already taken, I think, like 4 people's emails. So if any of you want to be like accountability partners with Xander, and you guys can even do that online. Like you don't have to live in the same city, but if any of you want that, you know, you can email me, assuming you're still happy with that, Xander, like to meet people. Cole, you say just throw it all on crypto. Perhaps you get to retire. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So there was a coaching client of mine years and years and years ago who had bought a lot of Bitcoin like back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I literally mean like 10 or 15 years ago. And it just held on to all of it. And it was worth like fucking $4 million or something, like US dollars. And we had quite a few discussions over several months because he was trying to figure out, do I want to like sell like a quarter of that and get $1 million US and just stick that in the bank and just live off the interest for that, or like let it build up for the next 5 years and then quit my job and just live off the interest. And he was really scared to do that because he'd hung on to this Bitcoin for like so many years and he was really terrified to sell. And he even felt like a traitor. He was like, am I a traitor to Bitcoin? Like I'm supposed to hold on to it because I believe in it. And I was like, bro, you're holding on to 75% of your Bitcoin. Like you're just selling, you're slicing a little bit off the side, selling that so you can retire. So he ended up doing that. Like, but yeah, that was cool. So I do know one person who bought crypto in the early days and hung on to it. You know, you hear the stories all the time of like, I sold my Bitcoin for one pizza, and you're like, oh fuck, man. Like, imagine if you hadn't done that. This was the guy who kept it. Hayden, you say the Aboriginals had it made. Aborigines, technically. They were in perfect sync with the land, and then a bunch of starving Brits just rocked up and seized their land. I hate welcome. Oh, that's a song. Yeah, yep, yep. Yeah. Yeah, definitely in touch. I try and take a lot from like those tribes and stuff like that live off the land because like it's quite impressive to be able to live off something for that long and be in touch with it. Like I find that interesting. Xander, you say you're happy for me to keep sending people your way. Awesome, dude. Yeah. Yeah. So if any of you want to meet Xander or even just like talk to him a little bit online or something, just shoot me an email, Andy at killyourinnerloser.com, and I can like hook you guys up. But I think Xander's already met like 3 or 4 people. Nathan says, hey, Andy, I have a lot of questions. I feel like nothing really makes me happy. I try to find happiness through sex or relationships or women. Yeah, this is one of those things where, like, the more you try and be happy, the more elusive it can feel. And for me, when I'm going through periods like that, I stop trying to be happy. Like, that might sound like a strange thing to say, but I stop seeing happiness as a prerequisite for me being okay. In other words, what you can do or what I do if I'm sad. Like right now, I'm sick as hell. Like it's not that I'm unhappy right now, but this definitely isn't peak Andy. This is not peak happiness Andy right now. And so one thing I do whenever I'm feeling a bit down or I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling lost is I say I'm feeling lost and that's okay. I'm sad as hell and that's okay. Nothing seems to really make me happy and that's okay. I try and find happiness, but it just seems elusive and that's okay. So it's like accepting the current reality and then it doesn't quite hurt so much. Like you're a human being, man, and human beings feel lost sometimes. We feel unhappy. And it's so easy to go on like social media or even like my YouTube channel and just assume like everyone else is happy. And it's like, no, motherfucker, they're just not as honest as you. They're not honest enough to tell you when they're sad. I try and tell you guys that in content all the time. I say, like, I'm feeling nervous or I'm sad or I'm this or I'm that. Like, today I'm sick. But most people on social media and on the internet, and most people in life, let's be honest, will pretend to have their shit together because they're deathly afraid of looking like they don't know what they're doing. And so you're just one of the people that's honest enough about it, man. But yeah, for me, like a lot of the pieces come from like not needing to be happy. Like I just don't set happiness as like a mandatory requirement for me to be okay, if that makes sense. And kind of like you said, Nathan, when it happens, I'm happy, as in like women and sex and relationships and stuff like that. When it happens, I'm happy, but it doesn't last. Yeah, because we do something called moving the goalposts. I talked about that a lot in the Play to Win video course. Like the second last chapter in the Play to Win video course talks about like how to appreciate what you have, I guess. And when I don't have women in my life or sex, I'm frustrated. Yeah, and I get that, man. Like that's a lot of you guys here, but there's a story in your head that basically says, I need sex to be okay. I need a woman to be okay. And I would just play around with that and say, is that true? You know? You go on to say, I have a few friends, but I don't see them often. I'm sure you can imagine what the next words out of my sentence, the next sentence out of my mouth is going to be, which is, why don't you see your friends a little bit more, man? Yeah, if I don't see my friends, then I feel really lonely. Like human beings are not an island. No man is an island. We do better when we have other people around us, when we spend time. You go on to say, I like sport, but it doesn't make me any happier. When I see my friends, I'm happy, but it's fleeting. The rest of the time, I'm just at home doing nothing except masturbating and watching TV series. The answer's right there, man. Like, and sometimes we're just a little blind to what's right in front of us. You literally said, when I spend time with my friends, I'm happy. And then I spend most of my time not with my friends, just jerking off and watching TV. Why am I sad? Like, the answer is kind of right there, man. Like, I figured this shit out about myself like quite a few years ago that if I don't see friends multiple times a week, if I don't go outside at least 2 or 3 times a day, like even though I'm sick, I went for a walk this morning before these live streams. If I don't go for a walk outside and smile at some strangers, I feel unhappy or I feel a bit lost. I feel a bit disconnected from the rest of the world, right? And so you've, it seems like, figured out something similar about yourself, right? Like when you sit at home masturbating and watching TV, you're not happy. When you spend time with your friends, you're happy. It's like, spend more time with your friends then. Like the answer is right there, but we're all often like, but it doesn't last. And it's like, then spend lots more time with friends and people. Like maybe you're just a social human being, man. And you're right now being very antisocial. No wonder you're unhappy. If I stay at home masturbating all day, bro, I'll get really depressed. I'll get really depressed. But again, if I go outside every day and just smile at strangers and I like to talk to people outside, like I'll go to the grocery store and just like randomly fucking talk to like two or three people. Like if I don't do that, then I feel really depressed. And then here you go on to say, how can I know what would make me happy? How can I find joy in life? You already have, you're just not doing it. And that's okay, man. But like again, sometimes the answer is like right there in front of us, and then we just like, I don't know, like we're just not doing the thing that makes us happy. W Desire says, I remember I listened to your content hating women like crazy. You'd been 2 years together with Emmy at that time. So okay, you were hating women like crazy. I misread that. I thought you were saying that I, Andy, hated women like crazy. And I was like, I don't think I did when I'd been with Emmy for 2 years. No, I really liked women by that point. That confused me. So you were hating women like crazy. You started listening to the content. You say you fixed me, then we broke up because of change of interest. But it was my first time being polite and thankful in a breakup. No anger. That's beautiful, man. Yeah, a lot of people in a breakup will treat the other person like the enemy. And they'll literally go like, I have to push this person away. I have to hurt them. I'm gonna at least just be cold to them. And like you can do that, but anger is just self sabotage. Anger hurts us more than it hurts the other person. I prefer, like you, to just be gentle and grateful and appreciative and thankful and all of that in a breakup. Like Amy and I, we had, I will say, one argument after we broke up. And there was one day when I was a bit cold to her. And then a couple of hours later, I was like, I'm really fucking sorry. And she's like, I'm really sorry too. And so, for the most part, like our breakup was pretty gentle. We were pretty nice to each other. Again, not that we didn't feel emotions and cry and have some upset and all of that, but yeah, it's funny how we're with someone and like we love that person to bits and we appreciate them, and then the second they break up with us or we break up with them, it's like they're dead to us, and it's like, but a week ago you loved this person to bits. Like it doesn't have to be this like conditional love where just because you're not together you fucking hate the person. Phoenix says, "Is it true that even a crack shack?" I have never heard that phrase before, but I actually really like that phrase, man. Is it true that even a crack shack costs $800,000 in Australia? Um, Not quite, no. Definitely not if you're talking in, like, US dollars, but even in Australian dollars, no, you can buy cheap houses. You just, like, go to a, like, rural area where it's a bit, like, not that, fancy. But yes, like, housing prices are quite expensive in Australia for sure. Like, my rent is $710 a week. That's Australian dollars, so what would that be in US dollars? My rent is like $474 a week, and I'm in a pretty like a decently cheap apartment. Like it's nice. I like my apartment. But yeah, like rent and housing costs are quite expensive here. Mortis says, Andy, do you have any tips on coming off meds? I would definitely talk to your doctor for that. You say my family and doctors say I should not at all stop taking them, but I also don't wanna rely on that forever. Yeah, I'm definitely not going through not gonna touch this with a 10-foot pole. Anytime someone asks me about, like, coming off meds, I've seen quite a few people get that almost, like, uh, ego or the confidence of, like, "Nah, I'm fine without my meds. I'll be fine," and then they don't take the meds, and then, like, a month later, they're like, "Why am I so fucking depressed all the time?" And it's like, "'Cause you just, like, went cold turkey off the meds without talking to your doctor." I've had a couple a couple of coaching clients do that and not even tell us that they were gonna do that. And then they're just like, "I'm really depressed all of a sudden." I'm like, "Huh, man, like, that's okay, but, like, has anything changed in your life?" And then finally it comes out, they're like, "Yeah, I stopped taking my meds 3 weeks ago." And I'm like, would that not have been something to tell us, like, or to tell your doctor or your friends or your family? So, yeah, I'm definitely not gonna give any advice on, like, coming off meds for sure. Like, that's not my wheelhouse. You're gonna say the doctor says she's never seen a person actually get healthy with pure lead therapy. Um, yeah, a lot of doctors and psychologists and stuff are, like, very reliant on medication, and medication can be very helpful, but I have always sort of seen medication as, like, the stopgap that you put in place while you work on therapy and mindset and self-love and all of that. You say, "I'm not mentally ill, I'm just lonely and can't get women." Politely, no. Incorrect. Wrong. No. And not I'm not saying you're mentally ill, but, like, no, in some ways I would like let's get autistic about the definition of mentally ill. In a lot of cases, mentally ill just means not lined up with reality. And you, Mortis, I mean, fucking Chad, back me up here, brother. Not that I need backup, but Mortis, you are definitely not in touch with reality when it comes to your views of yourself or women, or the fact that you think the only reason I'm unhappy is because I can't get women. No, 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 no. It's your mindset. It is 100% your mindset. It is that you say, I can only be happy if I get women. And yeah, a doctor's probably not going to like get rid of that. You basically need like cognitive behavior therapy. Cole, you say, I think the way to be happy is to schedule more things in your life that you enjoy doing, like comedy, fishing, etc. Kind of think it's that simple. Yeah. A lot of the time we complicate the shit out of it. It's like when I do this thing, I feel really happy. But then when I do this other thing, I feel really unhappy. I can't figure out what would make me happy. And it's like, but you already know. And then you're like, yeah, but if I do that thing that makes me happy, it fades away as soon as I stop doing the thing. And then it's like, well, what if you just do the thing more? And you don't have to like permanently 24/7 spend time with friends, although you could. Like some people just do really well when they're with other people. You know, I'm probably one of those people, although I do like my own space as well. And so if you find some shit that makes you happy, you can just sort of surrender to that and do that and go, this doesn't have to be some big complicated, like, what is the meaning of life? Like, what is my purpose? I can just do the thing that makes me happy, you know? Like, again, that's all I do, guys. I don't necessarily have some big, crazy purpose or meaning of life or something. I just do the thing that brings me joy. I go and spend time with people. I coach all of you. I hang out with you guys. I'm there with my audience. I spend time with my friends. Like I date some women from time to time. Like these are just the things that bring me happiness, and like I just do the things that make me happy. And if I'm ever not happy, then that's okay too. Like there are lots of times I'm not happy, so I'm just like I'm not happy today. Cool. What do I want for breakfast? Like happiness is not the barometer or the measuring stick that I use as to whether or not I'm successful or whether or not I'm okay, you know? Hayden, you say, I worry that I'm missing out on my youth, 28 now, and I've lost a lot of time. I know you can always meet girls at a younger age, but still, yeah, man, I didn't even start my like dating journey until I was 28. Like I literally didn't start until I was 28, 28 and a half technically. So yeah, you got time, man. Like you got plenty of time, but this is basically just a fear of death like coming up, and most of us, maybe all of us have a fear of death, and it presents itself in ways like this. I'm running out of time. The only reason you worry about running out of time is because you know at the end of it you will die. So I would embrace that a little bit, like play around with like your fear of death. Like I'm basically saying face your fear of death a little bit more and ask questions of like, if I don't get everything done before I die, could that be okay? And your ego is going to be like, no, no, that's not okay. But it's like, why is that not okay? Like basically nobody completes their entire to-do list before they die. Like you're not going to get everything done before you die. So like, can you be okay with that? And then on top of that, go and take action, which I think you are a little bit, man. But like the more action you take, the less afraid of like time you are, because you're like, whatever, I'm filling my days with what I want to be doing. You know, I'm living my life the way that I want to be living it. There's a book on this called The Top Five Regrets of the Dying. Highly recommend that book because it's about how to structure your life in a way where, you know, you'll get to the end of your life and you'll be like, yeah, I lived my life on my terms. I'm happy with the choices I made, you know, most of them. I didn't waste my time, so to speak. So yeah, we can always just take more action. And then you go on to say mortis. You said at the same time, I'd rather take drugs forever to push the pain down and live normally. I mean, that's an option too. Like, yeah, like I would gently encourage you not to push the pain down, but like if the drugs help you a little bit, then okay. Like to be very clear, I would never say drugs like medication is like bad. It's just that on top of that, we generally encourage you to also work on the positivity and the mindset and stuff like that. Lee says, "Hola, Andy, and hola, chat. How you doing, man? How is life?" Lee says, "So I just ran into a redhead at my apartment. Really cute girl. Downsides were I could hear what sounded like her mother nearby, so I felt like it wouldn't be appropriate to flirt. You got to fuck the mother, dude. You got to fuck them both. You got to have a threesome." Wait, is there a follow-up to this? Yes, there is. Also, I wasn't 100% sure about her age. Lots of high schools in the area, so I'm really trying to be mindful. Don't need a reputation I don't intend after just moving to a new area. So what I say to a lot of my coaching clients who are worried about like people not being 18 when they hit on them is I say if you're ever unsure, you don't have to hit on someone. You don't have to hit on every single person that you might be mildly interested in. And then the second thing I say is look for tattoos. If a girl has tattoos, I'm assuming it's the same in your country. In my country, you have to be 18 to have tattoos. So if someone has tattoos, then congratulations, they're 18. So yeah, but good shit, man. Like you can always just ask too, by the way. You can always just say, like, how old are you? And then she's like, I'm 12. And you're like, fuck, I'm going to jail. Fuck. She told me she was 18. Ah. K215 says, yeah, the best results I got were at 29 to 30. Yeah, I don't know when my best results were because like too many variables have changed if we're talking purely about dating. Like, I screen infinitely harder now than I did at 29. I'm also not that desperate to have lots of sex. Like, sex is not my goal right now. As long as I have 1, maybe 2 girls that I'm dating, I'm pretty happy. If more than that come to my life, cool, great. But, like, yeah, I can't really compare my results. Yeah, I would say dating is easier for me now at 38, like infinitely easier than it was at like 28, 29, 30. Just because I'm more happy in myself. I'm more confident. I like have all the play to win mindsets and shit like that. So like dating is definitely easier for me now. But I was definitely having more sex when I was 29 because it was the only thing I cared about. ECC says Xander is going to reveal that he's poisoned Andy. Yeah, he gave me a cold. He gave me like this freaking flu thing. How dare you, Xander? How could you do this? Hayden, you say, I don't have a fear of death. I have a fear of age. If I could lock myself in at my age now until 70, I'd be really, really, really happy. It's kind of the same thing though, man. But yeah, I get it. And then Lee, you say here, I don't want to flirt around a potential family member, like a woman who's with like her dad or her mom or something. It's a personal thing on my end as my family was very controlling, so I'd rather meet the person when it's just us. Yeah, like 99.9999% of women that I hit on outside is when she's by herself. Like I just generally speaking don't hit on women when they're with their friends or something. I just like talking to someone one on one. I have hit on people when they're with their friends a couple of times and I'm just like, no, like my thing is just when someone's by themselves. Like I like that. So yeah. W. Desaro says, I'm focused again on getting fit, doing new photos, getting social, step by step. I forgot how impatient I am. Yeah, we're all impatient, man. But if I keep doing it like that, as in step by step, then someday I'll reach the finish line. Yeah, and don't even see it as a finish line because then it's like, fuck, I haven't made it until I cross the finish line. It's like you cross a finish line every single day. Every day that you improve is you crossing a little mini finish line. So focus on like setting really small goals. Like, I'm going to take one new photo. That's the next finish line, rather than saying the finish line only counts if I've taken a bunch of new photos and I get a bunch of matches and we go on like fucking 20 dates and I sleep with someone and then we get fucking married and have kids. That's the finish line. It's like, no, man, set like mini finish lines so that you constantly feel like you're winning. Yeah, like Chad just said, dude. There is no finish line. You'll get better until you're dead. Yeah, self improvement is a lifelong process for sure. Mortis, you say, I don't feel any connection towards women my age because they're too old. I don't feel connections towards younger women because they're too young. I would play around with this a little bit, man. And like, if you want the actual true statement, I don't feel connections to people because I'm judgmental. Like, that's the answer. And it's okay to be judgmental, man. We all are. But like, that's the answer. I can form connections with women that are fucking 90 years old. I can form connections with old men outside, with fucking kids, with like middle-aged people, like teenage boys. Like I can form a connection with anyone, and I do. Like I talk to a lot of strangers and I smile at strangers and shit. Like you can form a connection with anyone. The age is just like a judgment, if you get what I mean. And like to be very clear, if you don't want to date older women or younger women, you don't have to. Like you're allowed to date women your age, but like yeah, I guess I'm just gently pointing out the reason you don't feel connection is because of judgment. Like judgment gets in the way. Like calling someone too old and then saying, I can't form a connection with someone who's old. It's almost like we then don't try. But generally speaking, if I'm trying to form a connection with someone, I look at the similarities between us rather than the differences. You're busy looking at the differences, like we're different age. And when we focus on the differences, yeah, we like literally can't form a connection. Like that's what racism is. That's what like war is. Like all of that is just looking at the person as if they're the other and focusing on like, wow, look how much this different culture is like completely disconnected from mine. And then we focus on the differences, and yeah, that person seems like someone we can't relate to. But if we focus on the similarities, and you and old women have a ton of similarities, you're both humans for one. But if we focus on the similarities, then we can connect a little better. And then Mortis, you say, I hate that drugs for me have just become a cure to numb the pain of being undesired. It's not the pain of being undesired, it's the pain of you calling yourself undesirable. And it's the pain of the story that you have. You tell a story that you're undesirable. That is the part that hurts. You say, why can't the therapist just help me to effortlessly get women and actually be liked? You are liked, you just don't like yourself. And so, how could anyone else like you? And the number of times I've said to you like the exact same thing, I'm actually impressed by your therapist's patience. And I mean that with love, man. Like, don't take that as a judgment, like as a criticism, but like, you don't really listen, Mortis. Let's be honest. You just like do not listen to me. You do not listen to Chad. You do not listen to any of the rest of us. We say the same thing like hundreds or thousands of times, and you worship your own ego and you worship your own thoughts. You worship your limiting beliefs, and you don't even see them as limiting beliefs. You literally think you're just being factually correct. Like you literally straight up think I'm unlovable, I'm undesirable, and you attach to that so strongly that you won't even let us fucking talk to you for half a second. Like your brain just shuts down and you don't listen. So while you're like in that state, yeah, like the therapist is not really going to be able to get through, man. Cause like you could effortlessly get women, but that's got to start with you liking yourself, man. Like if we don't like ourselves, we're going to assume no one else likes us either. And if we don't like ourselves, then when people do like us, we just push them away or we don't notice it. So Lee, you said, I need to get comfortable asking if I'm going to stay in this area. That might change though. Still unemployed, so might need to make a financial move. Yeah, brother. What kind of work do you normally do? Like, what was your last job, I guess? As ECC said, yeah, always bang the mum and then the grandmother, never the girl you actually want to talk to. It's really beta to sleep with the girl that you're interested in because it's like you've got one itis for her or something. Like that's so beta. Like an alpha male doesn't sleep with the women that he's interested in. In fact, an alpha male sleeps with the people that he's not interested in because then he's outcome dependent. He doesn't even give a shit. That's why I go and sleep with like homeless people. I will sleep with men. I just sleep with the people that I'm not even remotely into, and then I don't have to worry about like getting attached or like neediness or any of that kind of shit. So yeah, you just like bang the people that you don't want to have sex with. Lee says, any advice for building a professional skill set when you're older? I know you got into personal growth and relationship advice at about my age. Can't figure out what I want to do, so it's a problem. Uh, Honestly, man, like usually my advice is just try a bunch of random shit. Like if you have no idea what you want to do, then understand there's probably like hundreds or thousands of things that you would actually enjoy. Like people have this concept with jobs and money and, professional skill set and shit. We think we're trying to like find the one thing that suits us. And it's like there's like hundreds or thousands of jobs that would suit you. There's like 1,000 different jobs that you could work that you would enjoy. And so it's not so much like I guess I'm saying take some of the pressure off yourself to like know what the right thing to do is to make money. It's like just find something that's kind of fun and you enjoy and do that. That's at least my advice. Mortis, you say, if I'm desirable, where are the freaking women? Yeah, but you don't think you're desirable. That's my point. If you don't think you're desirable, then they won't stick around. They won't come to you. You'll push them away. You won't ask them out. You have a story in your head that you shouldn't have to hit on women. Meanwhile, all the rest of us are busy, not all of us, but like a lot of us are busy like hitting on women. Like Xander is a really good example. Like Xander doesn't feel like Xander even goes on to say, look, I struggle with feelings of undesirability myself. Like that's Xander saying that. The difference is that Xander goes out and talks to a shitload of women. And so, like, Mortis, you're not doing that. And you're then saying, how come no one desires me? Like, if Xander didn't go outside and hit on women and wasn't on the dating apps, if Xander just sat at home and was like, I'm undesirable, how come no one likes me? Like, he would have no women in his life. Like, who would sleep with him if he doesn't go out and talk to women? Me too, by the way. If I wasn't on the dating apps and if I didn't go outside and hit on women, I wouldn't have any women in my life. I would then feel undesirable. And so a lot of the time we're like not doing the thing that will get us the results. And then we're like, how come I'm not getting the results? Because you're not doing the work. Like Mortis, we've said this a lot to you, buddy. Like, you're not doing the work, man. Like, did you go out and hit on fucking 20 or 30 women this week? No. Then there's more you can do. And like talking to one girl here and there is great. Like it's definitely worth celebrating. But like if you don't talk to enough women, then there'll be no women in your fucking life, man. ECC says, good night, gang. Andy, you absolute legend. Thank you for the streams. Thank you, brother. Have a good night. Enjoy your evening. You absolute freaking legend. Lee, you say usually you do IT work. Your last job was at a dental lab. That's cool. Lots of experience, but most jobs have qualifications like bachelor's degree, which I don't have. Probably will need further education, but just stuck. Yeah, look, I I'm really not biased, but like for me personally, I don't care about jobs with qualifications. Basically, every job I've worked has been an entry level job, like my entire life. I've just always really liked that. I like jobs where you can walk in off the street and just get a fucking job. So I've worked in retail, I've worked in warehouses, I worked as like a pool tiler for a while, and I got trained like on the job. I've just done like I did IT work for a while. I've just done like really chill jobs that don't require any qualifications, and that's what I personally like. So I don't necessarily have a ton of good advice of like qualification type jobs, other than just I guess if you figure out you want to do one, then go get the qualification. But yeah, I think a lot of people put a lot of their like they place a lot of importance on job, almost like, what does this mean about me? Like, if I don't have a good job, then that must mean I'm a loser or something. And I'm not saying you're doing that, but like I've noticed that a lot of people do that. And so for me personally, I've just never I don't know, I've never taken jobs that seriously. Like I bust my ass, I put in good work, like I do the best I can, I get promotions and shit like that. But like I've just never seen the job as like a reflection of my self-esteem. It's just a thing I go to make money. Different now that I'm, doing my own business and shit, obviously. But like, yeah, like to me, I just never really placed that much importance on job. I was just like, a job is the thing that facilitates the rest of my life. And as long as I'm working somewhere where I enjoy the people, I get along with them, the work is pretty decent, even just working in a retail store, I'm okay with that. And I've always just used the job to facilitate the rest of my life. You could do that too if you want to. Mortis, you say, I know you're kidding because they were talking about summoning cells and using fucking witchcraft and shit to get women. Hayden, you troll. You say, I know you're kidding, but are there any weird magic things that maybe give some results? Yes. Xander has this one weird trick. Xander's like, Xander just told you his weird trick too before I got a chance to like say it. But look, Xander's figured out this weird magic trick. It's like the weirdest magic thing ever, where if you go outside and approach women, some of them will say yes to you and go on dates with you or give you phone numbers. It's like a weird fucking magic trick, like a weird magic spell. And you often have to talk to a lot of women. But yeah, Xander's cracked the code. Xander knows witchcraft. You got to approach. K215 says, Andy, I said this in a comment a few times, but we missed it. That girl I told you about, I saw her on New Year's and the vibes were good. Made out a bit and asked her to come see me on my birthday. Yeah, come sit on my fucking lap on my birthday. That's cool, though. That's cool, man. Good job. When is your birthday, I guess? And then we find out your birthday is like 6 months from now. You're like, hey, come see me on my birthday. Come see me 6 months from now. And kind of like Xander said before, yeah, Mortis, the reason that you're not getting results is because you're not approaching women. Women do not approach men. They just don't. And like every now and then you'll see an exception to that. Like I have a female friend, Jo, who one time in her life approached a man once ever. And Molly, one time in her life, approached a guy. And they don't approach the same way that we do. Like they don't walk up and they're like, hey, you're attractive. They just walk up and they're like, hi, like start a conversation. But that's so rare. Like most of my other female friends have never hit on anyone. Like most women just don't approach because they're scared. And plus they don't need to. And like they don't have testosterone. That testosterone is the thing that gives us the push to do it. And without that, like, yeah, I think without testosterone, a lot of you wouldn't approach. I probably wouldn't. Or actually, I still would. I'd just talk to people. But yeah, you get the point. And then K215, you say, just goes to show how often the story of what others think about us oftentimes conflicts with reality. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the time, maybe most of the time, we're just not fully in line with reality. I was telling myself so much about what this girl's lack of response meant, only to find out it meant nothing. Yeah. Like so often in my coaching program, dude, someone would be like, oh my God, this girl hasn't replied. Like, oh fuck, like she's not gonna reply. And then they just wait like half a day and then the girl texts back and they're like, oh fuck, she did reply. It's like, yeah, man, you were just like having a little freak out. Borealis says, "Hi Andy, how do you know when to work through something versus avoid?" So I never avoid something, but I think I know what you mean by that. Like let it go kind of thing. Like not worry about it. For example, hiding follow accounts if you compare yourself versus running towards that struggle. Uh, See both of those options as a tool that you can use, and you get to pick whichever tool you want, and you can pick a different tool in every moment. And so sometimes in the moment you'll decide to just like work through your jealousy of seeing other people's like follow accounts or like counts or subscribers or whatever. Sometimes that will be the tool that you reach for and do. Other times you will decide to block the follow accounts and that will be the thing you reach for. So neither one is the correct answer. Our brains always want to make things into one or the other. And that's called binary thinking or dualistic thinking. Our brain always wants to know which one of two options is the correct answer. And it's like sometimes both are great answers. So yeah, man, do whichever one feels right for you. Try them both. Sometimes like in the past, I have blocked the follow accounts and the subscribe accounts from people on YouTube. I think it might even still be blocked. I think I set it up years ago. Let me have a look. I'm just going to go on a random YouTube channel. No, I took it off. But yeah, like years ago, I had everything blocked so I couldn't see. And I use browser extensions and stuff to hide um, like the news feed on most social media platforms. And I still have that. I'll probably always have that because like I don't need to see the fucking doom scrolling shit, do I? I don't need to doom scroll. That's not going to add anything to my life. So yeah, man, do whichever one you want. And then yeah, like W Desiro says, the worst rejection that I ever got from a woman was, "I'm too old for you." Yeah, and I've had that too, where girls would be like, "I'm too young for you," or "You're too old for me." It's like, It's not even bad. They're just saying like their preference. Like it's not like they fucking punch you and slap you and shit. You go on to say approaching won't hurt. You'll love yourself more and more after every approach. Yeah, for sure. How cool is it, by the way, that we can approach? How cool is it we can literally just walk up to strangers and be like, "Hey, you fine? Would you like to go out with me?" And then like some of them do, and some of them become like your full on girlfriend, like Molly and shit like that. Where you're just like, "What the fuck?" Like multiple times a week, Molly and I will say, "How weird is it that you were just like we were just walking past each other, and now we're like dating and shit, like just some person on the street that you say hi to, like a complete stranger." I think approaching is really cool. Lee, you go on to say, I've accepted that I won't be as successful as my old man. Yeah, and it depends on how you measure success. Like financial success or like job success is like one metric for sure. But there's also like happiness, like life satisfaction, fitness and health, like friendships, sex and dating and relationships. Like there's lots of different areas of success in life. But we often just cherry pick one and we go, well, I don't have as much money as my dad. Therefore, I haven't been as successful. It's like, but what if you're happier than him? Hayden says, "Fuck our parents." I like my parents. You can say "fuck your parents," but not "fuck my parents." I like them a lot. Even my dad, who was never perfect, and I've talked about him in YouTube videos. K215 says, "Rejections are usually very mild, and I know Andy says they're just declining your offer." Yeah, most of the time they're so gentle. Like women are small, cute little midgets, right? They don't want to upset anyone for the most part, and they try really hard to not hurt you. And they'll just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend." Yeah. You say, "I've been told 'fuck you' like once or twice in an 8-year period." Yeah. Yeah, I think I've only been told like, "Fuck you," or like, "Leave me alone," or something like a handful of times ever. Like, and when it happens, because it's so rare, like it's like 1 in 200, 1 in 500 women, 1 in 1,000 women. Like it's really rare to have like a really, really negative reaction. When it happens, you're more just confused than anything. You're not even like hurt. Because it's so rare that you're just confused, you're shocked. You're like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Did she just tell me to fuck off? Like, am I misunderstanding this? Did I mishear that?" Like, it's really confusing when someone has a negative reaction because most of the time they're really nice. And yeah, Lee, this is such a good point, man. You say, "I had burnout in college due to pressure to meet my dad's standards." Yeah, the book that I've talked about a little bit, you kind of sorry, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. The number one regret that people have is, "I wish I had lived a life more true to myself instead of the life that others wished for me." And so, yeah, a lot of the time we try and meet our parents or societies or whatever's expectations of us, but we're not necessarily happy. But we're like, "At least they won't yell at me, at least they won't judge me." And it's like, that's not the same thing as happiness. So it can take a little courage to like stray from the path and to figure out your own path. So good job doing that, man. Like, sounds like you're still working on that. Really good. Mortis says, "Tren is steroids, right?" How did this conversation? What did I miss? I know you guys were talking about testosterone levels and shit like that. How did we all of a sudden just start talking about fucking trenbolone? Like, what are you guys on about? Chad's like, "Absolutely don't take tren." Yeah, correct. Yes. Try not to cough in the microphone for you guys. Hayden says, "Eddie, I'm quite angry at my dad at the moment." Yeah, I went through a period like that of several years where I was angry at my dad, like when I was younger. So I get that, man. I get that. Mortis, you say, "I have zero interest to approach. I want to be desired. It just doesn't turn me on." As in, approaching doesn't turn you on, I guess. Yeah, bro. We're not walking around approaching with a fucking heart on. We don't go out to approach because it turns us on. Like, we approach women and say hi so that we can get some dates and meet some people. Like, and I guess ultimately, Yeah, a lot of us want to be desired as well. It feels really nice. Molly is unbelievably, like, praising when we're especially if we're naked, like, she makes it very clear that she desires me, but that only happened because I talked to her. If I hadn't hit on her, then I wouldn't feel desired. Again, kinda like Xander's saying to you, man, and like we've been saying for a long time now, several years now, dude. Like, if you wanna be desired, you're gonna have to talk to women, and then you're saying like, "No, but that doesn't count. I want them to just desire me," and it's like, "Okay, then become a celebrity." Or become like crazy fucking rich or become, I guess, mega famous. Like, do something to be desirable. But like, I mean this with love, man. And like, whatever, I'll just say this. Sitting around bitching and moaning, and like, you're not bitching and moaning, man, but like, you kind of are. So I guess you are. Sitting around bitching and moaning about how you're not desirable is not fucking desirable, especially not to women. Like, that's not desirable. That's like the least desirable trait ever. Like, the neediness to be desired is the least attractive quality that a man could ever have for women. And again, it's okay that like, yeah, Hayden says like Andy, he is bitching and moaning. And we mean that with love, Mortis, but like, yeah, you definitely are like complaining. Like, let's be honest, you definitely have complained for like years at this point. And like complaining is like the least attractive thing. Again, share your feelings. I say this with you guys all the time, but there's a difference between sharing and complaining. I actually did a video on this. I may as well just show you guys the video. And I said, like, yeah, share your feelings, like, share how you're feeling, like, be vulnerable, be honest, and all of that shit. But if you then keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again for months or years, that's when it becomes complaining. So, this video here, just search on my channel for complaining. I said complaining doesn't help you. It's a short-term solution to a long-term problem. As in short term, it kind of works. Like complaining works because people jump in and go, "Oh, I can help." Like, I get it, bro. Like, I'm sorry you're going through that. Like, it seems like we're getting some help. But long term, if we just keep complaining about the same thing over and over again, and if we don't change anything, like if we don't listen to the advice that we're given and follow through on it, like take action, then yeah, nothing changes. And like the complaining then at that point just like drags us down. And it makes people not want to be around us because we have a victim complex. And Mortis, you definitely have that. I mean, buddy, I say this with love, man, but you got upset that your friends weren't fucking paying attention to how sad you are. Like you literally got upset that your friends forgot that you're depressed. Like, and I was exactly the same when I was depressed, man. I had this strong victim complex. I wanted the entire fucking world to stop what they were doing and look at me and be like, "Oh, poor baby, that sucks. It sucks being you, Andy. God, life's so hard, isn't it?" Like, I wanted everyone to just stop and focus on me, and you definitely do too. You said as much. But that's like that victim complex, bro. Like it's not helping you, dude. Like the victim complex doesn't help at all. And it makes it harder for other people to help you. Like, look how much effort and love I've put into helping you. Xander has, Chad has, Hayden has, KT, like everyone has, man. Like everyone has been helping you. But because you're so focused on your victim story, you just end up ostracizing everybody. And I'm pretty patient. Like I'll keep telling you this shit. Like, I'm not going to stop telling you this shit. But I don't expect everyone else in this chat to be as patient at all. Like, Xander already has told you a few times that he's losing patience. I think Chad has too. And maybe Hayden has too. Like, people will lose patience with you, man. And then you'll be like, nobody ever believes in me. Nobody ever really helps me. People just leave. See, no one wants to be my friend. It's like, you fucking did that. That wasn't them. In fact, they had the patience of a saint. I don't know how they managed to stick around for that long, especially given everyone here in the chat is not getting paid for At least to some degree, I'm sort of getting paid for this. Like, not today, but like some of you might sign up for coaching. So I will make some money potentially from these. But everyone in the chat is doing this for free, man. And like, yeah, they won't be infinitely patient. They eventually will just declare you negative and they'll move away. And so this is what we talk about when we say like self-fulfilling prophecy. We say, I'm not desirable, no one wants to help me, and then we make it come true. Phoenix, this is a really good point. You say, I just get depressed when I can't meet my dad's standards. And then you go on to say, I'll never meet his standards. That's the answer right there, man. Yeah. Like, why would you be depressed about the thing that's never going to happen? Like, accept it and then start to move on. I went through this myself with my dad. my mother actually had an intervention with me and said, "Why are you always trying to seek your dad's approval?" It was when I was like 28. She was like, "Why are you always trying to seek your father's approval?" And I was like, "I'm not." And she's like, "Yes, you are. You act like a little boy around him. Has your father ever given you his approval? Has he ever told you that he's really proud of you?" And I was like, "Not really." And she's like, "Then when are you going to turn into a man? When are you going to stop acting like a little boy, chasing daddy's approval?" And I was like, "Holy fuck, mom. Like, what are you saying to me right now?" Like, I was so glad she said all of that to me. It was like a wake up call. Cole says, Andy, any more books you recommend that aren't on your website? I'm trying to think of books for you specifically. I think you've read How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World. I think you read Top Five Regrets of the Dying. If you haven't already read it, then Loving What Is by Byron Katie and I Need Your Love Is That True. I like Letting Go by David Hawkins. What else? I like all of the David Hawkins books. I don't know if this would resonate with you, but I'm just trying to think of books that I like. I liked everything Mother Teresa put out there because she focused a lot on humility and a lot on like helping people. I don't know if that stuff will resonate with you, but yeah, there's a few books there, a few suggestions. Also, if you haven't already read it, You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought. And Cole, you're pretty positive anyway, man, but like I do like that book a lot. Yeah, kind of like Xander said, Mortis, we've already explained to you at length that your choices are between approaching or not getting anything. There is no third way. Well, there is a third way, Xander. Like I said, if you become like mega famous, like a rock star or some shit, or you become like mega rich, like mega rich, where you can just basically do like sugar daddy dating, where you just buy stuff for women and like kind of throw money towards them. Like you don't straight, it's not quite prostitution, but it's like in that ballpark, in that same realm. So yeah, that would be your third option. Yeah, kind of like you said, Hayden, you could just pay for it. Yeah, that's definitely the third way for sure. Phoenix, you said online. I thought online was the third way. Yeah, you still got to make the moves though online. Like with online dating, you're still the one who's like, "Hi, you're cute. Hi, would you like to go out with me? Hey, can I have your phone number? Hey, let's meet at this place." Like you're still making the moves. Like K215 here said, I mean, Mortis, it's up to you. We all love it when the women we like think that we're great too, or they desire us. But what Andy said, almost every girl that I've had over the past 1.5 years did desire me, but I had to approach them. Yeah, Molly desires the shit out of me. Like she makes it abundantly clear. Like she will literally get so turned on during sex and stuff and like look at me and moan and she'll go, "You're so fucking hot, daddy." Like it's the hottest thing ever. But if I hadn't talked to her, I wouldn't know that, would I? And so yeah, like most women just don't approach. Like it's not their job. Yeah, kind of like W Desire said, approaching was normal before phones, bro. It's still normal. It will be in the future. It's how humans behave. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. 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 And maybe most guys aren't out there like talking to hundreds of girls a month or something, but like, yeah, it's not as weird as you think it is, like Mortis. Yeah, like you said here, K215. It surprised me once I got back out there a few years ago how many women I liked also found me attractive, especially when I didn't feel that way about myself. Like you didn't feel attractive. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, K215, like you said, it's a loop, Mortis. Like you're not gonna work through this until you go out and take some action. And we've all given you like lots. Like Cole said here, Mortis, work on your self validation, positive self image. I think someone else earlier said, like, go look in the mirror and work on loving yourself. Like that shit helps too. Writing a list of 50 things about yourself that are likable, like building the self esteem. But then on top of that, like K215 said, you can also just go outside and talk to women. And yeah, like W. Desire said, taking action and then believing in it. You don't even have to believe in it, man. I say that a lot. Like you guys don't have to believe in yourself. You don't have to believe that the action is going to work out. You just have to take the action, and then eventually you start to believe in yourself. And it is, like you said, just small effort daily. Yeah, like little bits and pieces. And like Hayden said, yeah, Mortis, can you see on any level that you may be receiving some sort of validation by us trying to help you? Yeah, this is what I say a lot, that we get a payoff from being like a victim, so to speak, because we get a lot of people that care about us. Like we all care about you, Mortis. That's pretty obvious. And it's almost like self reinforcing because there's almost a part of your subconscious brain that thinks like, but if I was to go out and like actually do the things like that Xander is saying, like approach women, if I was to work on this, then like nobody would give me this much attention. It's almost like we're addicted to the attention. The funny thing is, especially in this community, we would literally give you way more attention if you were out there talking to women. Like we would give you way more attention. Like look how much we fucking slap Xander on the back every day and we're like, good job, bro. Like, yeah, we'll give you tons of attention, like if you go and take action. But we definitely do get like a lot of validation from having people like help us. Like it's validating. It feels nice. Wow, people care about me. The thing is, like I said, people will then eventually, especially in a self-improvement community, they will eventually lose patience if you're not taking action based on what they say. Like people only have a set amount of patience and then they'll be like, all right, you're not even listening now. I've told you this like 20 times, like blah blah blah. Like, and they'll eventually lose a bit of patience. Cam says, sup. Hey Cam. I saw you were here like 5 minutes ago. Hello, my friend. W Desire says, I ordered You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought recently. Tomorrow it should arrive. Yeah, I really like that book, like a lot. Cole, you say you got about four other books that I recommended or halfway read. Noted. Thanks. Yeah, and there's like tons of other books. I guess I could just like no, yeah, most of the books that I have, sorry, I was just looking over there at some of my books. Most of the books that I mentioned to you before were the ones that like I've read. I like a lot of like spiritual hippie books too. I like Ram Dass and people like that. But yeah. And Mortis, you said, yeah, it is true. People do lose patience. You were banned multiple times from my forums. Yeah, we had a rule on the forums that like if you don't take action when people are giving you advice, like at that point you're almost just like wasting everyone's time. And so we had a rule that we would like would give you warnings and then would eventually ban you if like you just kept saying the same things every day and people gave you action and you didn't do any of it. Um someone that's a really good example actually of like feeling the same way every day but taking action is Xander. Xander is a really good example of someone who like comes to these streams every day and feels like basically the exact same things, asks us the exact same question basically like every day, but he's also out there taking action. And so like in that case, it's very easy to help Xander because you're just like, bro, chill the fuck out. Everything will be fine. It's fine. Just keep doing it. I promise you'll make it. It's okay. Like you're just stressed. You're emotional. You're feeling all of that shit. You'll be fine. Like the person is taking the action, so you know that they will eventually like hit their goals or they'll make more progress on their goals. So yeah, yeah, and kind of like Xander said, for fuck's sakes, Mortis. See, I told you Xander was losing a little bit of patience, which fair enough. If you started approaching women and Andy shot me your email address, I'd literally be willing to tell you every fucking step and give you feedback on your field reports. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it can be like scary to take action because we're like, fuck, then I'd have to actually change something. It's sometimes easier to just complain like endlessly about the same thing over and over again than actually like change. Yeah, as Xander said, free fucking coaching from a relative amateur and not in person, yes, but I'd be willing to do it if you'd like me to. Yeah. And then exactly what I said, Mortis. You see how we like we like don't accept the help and we don't want to like do anything? You say, I'd love to, Xander, but and then you're like, all right, here's the but. What is the but? I think I'm mentally also ill. I think you're just negative, but that's okay. and I have lucid moments. I don't want to bring you down. Do you see what I mean? So, Mortis, you probably can't see it, but there will be women in your life, and there have been. You've literally told us about some of them. There are women in your life that desire you, but you're like, oh, no, 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 you shouldn't desire me. Like, I don't, no, 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 I don't want to be a burden to you. Like, we'll push them away and we'll literally like ignore the evidence that doesn't support our narrative or our limiting beliefs. Like Xander is literally saying, "Bro, I'll move heaven and earth to like make this work for you," and you're like, "No, no, 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 no. I'm just too much of a burden. Like I don't want to do that." And I went through the same shit. Like when I was like depressed, like years ago, people would try and help me, and I'd be like, "No, no, 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 no." Like, yeah. Hayden, you say, Andy, can we do an impromptu ceremony for Xander? What sort of ceremony? Is he dying? What's the ceremony? Do we have to like kill a virgin or something? Do we have to hump a baby goat in front of him? What's the ceremony? I guess celebration of how much action he's taken. Then hell yeah, we can do a ceremony. Hayden, you say no. He was just the goodest boy of the stream. Xander, how does that make you feel to know that you were a good boy? Was he the number one? Like, who was the number one? Let me have a look. Because remember, YouTube has that thing where it says which one of you guys is like the number one. Pretty sure Xander's got to be number one, surely. Although before it said Chad was number one. Top fans. No, Hayden, you're the number one. Explain that. Hayden, you're the number one fan. You are literally the number one fan according to YouTube. Yeah, I'll show it on the screen. So have a look on the right hand side. Let me make that a bit bigger. That's what she said. Let me make that a bit bigger. That's what she said. So number one top fan is Hayden. Number two is K215. Number three is Xander. Number four is Mortis. Number five is these have to be like today only, right? This can't be like, yeah, this has to be like today only because W Desire wasn't even there yesterday and the other days. So these are the top fans for today. K215 says, let's go number. I think it just goes off which one of you motherfuckers typed the most, which most days would be like Xander, honestly. Maybe Mortis. Chad's not even on there. Chad's like down in number 8. Last time Chad was number 1. This shit's goofy. Thanks, YouTube. I love you. Xander, you say this does help my self-esteem, guys. Good, man. Like from the very beginning, before we even did the live streams, you made a comment like on a video, and I was like, bro, you've done an insane amount of work. Like, I'm so impressed. And you were like, no, I haven't done enough, or it doesn't count. And I was like, bro, you've done 1,700 approaches. What the fuck? That's insane. And in a short time too. It's not like you've been doing this for like 5 years. Also, thanks by the way for offering like free coaching to like Mortis, by the way. That was really nice of you, Xander. You say it should have been Mortis today. Yeah. Yeah, based on who types the most. I think that's all the questions. I think we'll start wrapping up, guys. I could really use some like time to just go lay on the couch. Like, in case you couldn't tell from all the coughing, I am like absolutely freaking just like losing my voice. So I might go chill the fuck out on the couch. Like I said, I'm very happy to do like some more of these in the future. Maybe we can just do like little impromptu ones and I'll just like jump on at random times and hang out with you legends. 20 more minutes. You guys don't have any more questions though. You stop the questions. There's like no more questions. I would happily stay for 5 more minutes if there were questions. But yeah, K215 says, boys, it's been dope. It has, man. Xana says, I'm proud of my perseverance. Yeah, dude, yes. And your resilience is insane, man. It's just that my ratio of results, as I've said, seems low to be. It definitely is. Like I'm not gonna tell you like it's not lower than average, but like there's 2 things we can do there. We can accept it, we can improve things, which you are, man. We can just go out and take more results. You could say, and I think I've used this example with you a lot of times. We could say that the amount of content that I have done compared to like I don't know, like how many fucking views each video gets is really low. Like I've done 2,000 pieces of content across all the different platforms, right? Like that's a lot of content. That's a hell of a lot of content. And there are some channels that have done and they do similar content to me, and they've done like 300 videos and they have like 400,000 subscribers, even in my same niche in dating and stuff like that. So I could say like my ratio of results compared to like how many videos I've done or how much love I've put into the videos, how much effort I've put in, we can say that's low. And it's like maybe, but I'll just do more work. Like, so yeah, like I agree with you. Like I wouldn't say your results are like crazy low, but I would definitely agree with you that they're like below average. And that's not a reflection of you. It just is what it is. Sometimes this shit's fucking random, man. I don't always have the answers. I don't know why it's random with some people. W Desirous says, but seeing you still helping people still, I guess you mean if I'm sick? Seeing you still help people warms me up. I can't even describe how thankful I am, bro. Uh, you were the point who changed my life when I was really fucked. That's cool, man. And like, I would reflect that back on you and say, and this is a quote from The Matrix, I am only the one that shows you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it. And so you did the work, man. But yeah, I'm glad I could be there for you, dude, or with you, I guess. Chad says it was a fun round this year. It was. This was a blast. This was fun. Xander, you say I hope to speak to you again someday. We'll do more streams, dude. Like I said. Blue Note, yes, I actually do want to do this. Yep, no, 100%. I played a little bit of it with a couple of my friends too, and they were just as confused as we were. I played with Timor and my friend Jesse, and they loved it. I'm gonna play it with Molly as well because I want her to just like she won't be able to pick the right answers. She'll get really confused because she's very like honest, like autistically honest. And she liked the way that I hit on her was just complete honesty. Like, you're really cute. I'm kind of nervous. I wanted to say hi. So yeah, I'll play that. But we can definitely play that on stream for sure. As K215 says, Xander, keep going, keep iterating, you'll figure it out. You will, man. And yeah, if any of you want to keep in touch with each other, you can just email me, Andy at Kill You and a Loser. And like, if both of you email me, like any of you that want to meet up with each other or text each other or whatever, if you both email me, I can put you in touch with each other. Xander's already made friends with like a couple of people. So W Desire says, bro, others sell BS. You're honest and it works. Yeah. And I don't think like it's all BS, but I know what you mean. Like some of it can be a little bit like manipulative, like dating advice. Gear Best Review says, I couldn't find any articles or videos regarding being cheated on and surviving infidelity. Are you planning to write or create one? Uh, I could. It's not something I've necessarily been through though. And like generally speaking, most of the advice that I give is stuff that I've gone through because then it's obviously going to be more authentic. Um, if you want some really quick general advice, I would say be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself. Somebody cheating on you is not necessarily a reflection on you or your worthiness as a person or your masculinity or any of that. It is more a reflection of that person. Like, and not even to criticize that person. You don't have to hate the person that cheated on you. You just move away from them, obviously, if you want to, or heal the relationship if you want to. But yeah, I probably won't do an article or a video on it, to be honest. Um, if you had a specific question, then I could answer that question. I will often do videos answering people's questions. Um, but if you just write a general comment like this, where you're like, can you do a video on this topic? If it's not a topic I have a ton of experience with, I probably won't do it. So if you want me to answer a question, like if you had a specific question, don't leave it here because we're about to finish up, but like maybe leave it on any random YouTube video of mine, ask a specific question, and I might do a video on it, or you're very welcome to hit me up for coaching if you want to. But yeah, I probably won't do a video on it as it stands. Phoenix says, thank you, Andy. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. All right, gents, let's get emojis in the chat. Let's get salutes in the chat. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Then I'm gonna go die on the couch. Adios, amigos. I will see you when I see you. I appreciate, maybe I can do a little freaking outro speech. I really appreciate how much all of you opened up over the last, like, what has it been, like 36 days. You guys did a really fucking fantastic job of like sharing the shit you're going through, like trusting me, and I guess trusting the audience, trusting everybody else. You guys would often share shit that had a lot of like shame or pain around it, and I don't take that shit lightly. I really appreciate you guys opening up about that. So from the bottom of my heart, like, thank you for being here with me. Like, genuinely, this has been a blast for the last 36 days. I've enjoyed this as much as I think all of you guys have. So thank you. I will see you guys on the other side, gentlemen.